Every night, for about 2 hours, you completely stop existing, not just sleeping, vanishing. Your body lies there breathing, but the you inside it, the voice reading these words, the sense of being a person, switches off entirely. And here's the strange part. Your brain does it on purpose. It shuts you down so it can run processes it cannot run while you're awake. Tonight, while you're gone, your brain will replay your entire day and fast forward, physically wash itself out with fluid, and quietly rewrite your memories, and you'll wake up with no idea any of it happened. We treat sleep like an off switch. You get tired, the lights go out, time skips forward, you wake up. Nothing happened. But that feeling of nothing is the single most misleading experience your brain produces, because the hours you remember as a black gap are the most active and bizarre of your entire day. So tonight, let's follow your mind down into sleep and find out where it actually goes. Because what happens down there is stranger than any dream. It starts the second you close your eyes. As you drift off, you pass through a doorway called Stage 1, a light, floating state that lasts only minutes. This is the twitch, that falling sensation that jolts you awake just as you're dropping off, sometimes kicking your whole leg. Nobody's certain why it happens, but one leading idea is almost eerie. As your muscles go slack and your breathing slows, a primitive part of your brain misreads the shutdown as death and fires a jolt of panic to check you're still alive. Your last conscious act before sleep is your own brain making sure you didn't just die. Then you sink deeper into slow wave sleep, the deepest stage. Your brain waves stretch out long and slow, your heart rate drops to its lowest, and you become almost impossible to wake. This is the stage that feels like pure nothingness. But this is where the strangest thing of the entire night happens, and until recently, nobody even knew it existed. In 2012, a neuroscientist named Mike Nettergaard was chasing a question nobody had cracked. Your brain is the most energy-hungry organ in your body, burning fuel and leaving behind toxic waste all day. So how does it take out the trash? Every other part of your body has the lymphatic system to clear waste. The brain appeared to have nothing. What she found is astonishing. During deep sleep, the cells of your brain physically shrink by up to 60%, pulling back from each other and opening channels between them. And through those channels, spinal fluid comes flooding in, pumping through your brain and flushing the day's waste out. Your brain has a plumbing system, and it only switches on when you're unconscious. It runs 10 times harder the moment you drop into deep sleep. And one thing it washes out is a sticky protein called beta amyloid, the exact substance that clogs the brains of people with Alzheimer's. Every night of deep sleep, your brain power washes itself. Every night you lose, that waste sits a little longer. You don't sleep to rest. You sleep to be cleaned. But here's the question that changes everything. If you're being cleaned, are you just an empty machine down there? Not even close. Because while the fluid is flushing through, your brain is also doing something that sounds impossible. It's rehearsing. In a landmark MIT experiment, scientists recorded the brains of rats running a maze and watched specific cells fire in a specific order, mapping the animal's exact path. Then they let the rats sleep and recorded again. The same cells fired in the same sequence, replaying the run. But two things were different. It was compressed. Up to 30 seconds of running replayed in under a second. Your day on fast forward. And sometimes it ran backward, the whole path in reverse, like a film rewinding. Your brain does a version of this with your day, right now. The conversation, the drive home, the skill you practiced, replayed at high speed, over and over, burning the important parts into permanent storage. You spend your nights reliving a compressed remix of your own life, and you never remember a second of it. And then, about 90 minutes in, everything flips. Your brain suddenly roars back to life, lighting up almost as much as when you're awake. Your eyes start darting wildly behind closed lids. This is REM sleep. This is where you dream. But here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. During REM, your brain sends a signal down your spinal cord that paralyzes your entire body. You cannot move. It's a deliberate lock, built to stop you from physically acting out whatever your dreaming brain invents. So picture what's actually happening in your bed. Your mind is wide awake and hallucinating a full, vivid, emotional world, while your body lies completely paralyzed. Every single night, you're trapped inside a hallucination you can't move a muscle to escape. and you've been doing it since before you were born. But REM isn't just generating dreams for entertainment. It may be doing something close to healing, a process some researchers call overnight therapy. During the day, when something painful or frightening happens, that memory gets stamped with a chemical marker of stress, which is why an embarrassing moment can still tighten your chest months later. REM sleep appears to do something remarkable. It replays those emotional memories in a brain state where one of the main stress chemicals, noradrenaline, is largely switched off. So the memory gets reprocessed and kept, but stripped of its raw emotional charge. It's why time heals. It's why the thing that felt unbearable last month feels survivable now. Your brain is quietly defanging your worst memories while you sleep, filing the lesson, draining the pain. And it's why one bad night leaves you raw and reactive the next day. The processing didn't happen, and the emotion is still hot. So zoom out and look at what actually happened in the black gap you remember as nothing. Your brain checked you were alive. It shrank its own cells and flushed itself with fluid to wash out the poison linked to dementia. It replayed your entire day at high speed to burn in what mattered. And then it paralyzed your body, generated a hallucinated world, and used it to quietly heal your emotional wounds. All of it on a schedule, all of it without you, all of it, every single night of your life. We call it losing consciousness, but you're not losing anything. Every night, the version of you that walks around and talks and worries steps aside and hands the controls to something older and stranger that spends the dark hours repairing everything the daytime you wore down. Sleep was never the absence of activity. It's the night shift. It's the reason there's a working you to wake up as at all. So next time you feel yourself drifting off and the world dissolves, and you brace for that familiar nothing, remember the nothing is a lie. You're not disappearing. You're clocking in to the most important work your brain does all day. Where does your mind go when you sleep? It goes to work. If this changed how you see that black gap every night, tell me in the comments. What's the strangest thing your mind has ever done while you were asleep? I read them all. Subscribe if you want more of the mind explained properly, and I'll see you in the next one.